Hello everyone, myself Samadam Bodke. In the previous video, we have learned about the centroid and center of gravity and its difference, its definitions and its difference and centroid of some common figures. In this video, we are going to learn what are the steps to find out the centroid or center of gravity. Centroid and center of gravity. So, here are the steps to find out the centroid or center of gravity. So, here is the problem for which we have to find out the centroid. So here is the first step: place the object in the first quadrant. So whatever object is given, which will be the combination of various simple figures, here it is the combination of triangle, rectangle and semicircle. So first step is place the object in the first quadrant. So here we have placed the object in the first quadrant, that is x-axis and y-axis. Just we have to put the x-axis and y-axis in the object. What is the second step? Divide the given composite figure into number of basic figures and name them 1, 2 and 3. In the exam you can get only up to 3 object or 2 object. Two combination of 2 or 3 object which will be called as a composite figure. So here we have second step is divide the object into number of basic figures. So just see, we have divided this figure into 3 objects. Just I have told you, first one is a triangle, second is a rectangle and third one is a semicircle. So second step is completed. Third step, so find the area or volume of the basic figures and name them A1, A2, A3, or for the volume V1, V2 and V3. So we are studying the steps to find out the centroid or center of gravity. So for the centroid, which we have to calculate the area. For the center of gravity, which is applicable to the solid body, for which we have to calculate the volume. And in the diagram we have only considered the plane lamina, so we have to calculate the here area of this triangle, that is called as A1, area of this rectangle which we call as A2, and A3 will be the area of this semicircle. So here is the third step. Next, fourth step, find the centroid and CG of basic figures. Now basic figure we have divided into triangle, rectangle and semicircle. So we have to find out the centroid of this triangle, that is G1, G2, that is rectangle, and third one is the semicircle, that is the area of this semicircle. So just see over here the fourth step. Here we have just placed the G1, that is the centroid of this triangle, G2 the centroid of this rectangle, and G3 centroid of this semicircle. Just keep in mind, to find out the centroid means find out the G. Just we have place over here G1, G2 and G3. This is the centroid of this individual bodies or individual laminas. But find out the centroid means find out the G of this composite figure, means X and Y coordinate of this composite figure. So we have just placed triangles, centroid is as G1, rectangles as G2 and semicircle as G3. So G1's coordinate is x1, which will be the coordinate x1, and this one is y1. Then G2 is x2 and y2, and G3 is x3 and y3. These are the coordinate of individual centroid, that is x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. Formulas of this x1 x2 y1 y2 and y3, x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3 are formula for this triangle, rectangle and semicircle. We have already studied in this previous video. You can see the previous video, and I will give the link in the description. So just find out the G1, G2 and G3. So how to find out this x1 x2 using the formula we are going to see in the next video also. So fifth, After finding out the x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 and a1, a2, a3 or v1, v2, v3, we are going to find out the centroid of this composite figure by using the formula centroid x bar is equals to a1 x1, a1 x1, a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 a2 plus a3. So you have to learn this formula for x bar and for y bar. For the center of gravity, we have to place volume in place of area, because centroid is applicable to the plane lamina which is having area. Center of gravity is applicable to the plane lamina which is having volume. So in this way you can find out the centroid x bar y bar or center of gravity x bar and y bar. So final centroid will be G x bar and y bar. In the step you have to in just following this all step you have to first of all check the centroid for the symmetrical object. Means before starting these steps you have to check whether the object is either symmetrical about either vertical axis or horizontal axis. If the object is symmetrical about vertical axis, then we can directly get x. So if we are directly getting the x bar, then we need not to calculate x1, x2 and x3. And if the object is symmetrical about the horizontal axis, then we will directly get y bar. We are directly getting the y bar, so we did not to calculate y1, y2 and y3. So just see, if the object is symmetrical about vertical axis, just your here t section and I section is here. For the T section, axis of symmetry is like this, and central position will be lie on this axis only. Means whatever the x bar will be, the x bar is equals to maximum horizontal distance divided by 2. Means if horizontal distance maximum means this distance will be 10, then 10 by 2 will be your x bar, that is 5 is your x bar. Just see this I section, uneven I section we can say. For this here is the axis of symmetry, means object is same in both side of this axis of symmetry. So the x bar will be maximum horizontal distance. Just see over here, here is distance 8 and here is distance 10. So maximum horizontal distance is 10, so 10 by 2 will be your x bar. X bar is equals to 10 by 2 means 5 mm or inch, whatever unit is there. So 5 inch is your, yes, means you are getting directly x bar. You need not to calculate this x1, x2 and x3. You just, your half of the work is done. If symmetrical object is there for the exam, you just calculate the y bar in case of this. So if the object is symmetrical about horizontal axis, just see this c section object, you will directly get y bar. So just see this c section. For the c section you are directly getting the y bar, that is distance from x axis. So maximum vertical distance divided by 2, that is this distance divided by 2. So 8 plus 1 plus 1, 10 divided by 2. So 10 by 2 is 5 mm. So 5 mm will be your y bar, and you are just follow the steps for the x bar. Just see this object have inclined to 90 degree, so this will be your axis symmetry and you will get directly y bar. So maximum vertical distance, that is this distance divided by 2. And just see this object is symmetrical about both the vertical and horizontal axis. Here you will directly get x bar and y bar also, because this axis of symmetry, and intersecting point of these both axis of symmetry will be your centroid, hence in this video we have learned about what are the steps to find out the centroid or center of gravity. In case of centroid you have to take the area, in case of center of gravity you are going to take the volume. And centroid for the symmetrical bodies, if the object is symmetrical about vertical axis, then you have to you will directly get x bar, and if object is symmetrical about horizontal axis, then you will directly get y bar. In the next video we are going to study the two problems of T section, I section. In the exam you will get the problems of on L section, T section, I section, then inverted T section. In the next video we are going to study the two solve problems. So thanks for the watching. Thank you.